Welcome to the Pure Light Project podcast. My name is Andrea and I am so excited to have on today someone who I met just in this recent year. And it was kind of magical the way we connected at an event that had nothing to do with the things we're going to talk about today, really. But it was a beautiful, beautiful way to find each other. And the Pure Light Project is really, it's humanity. And so this podcast is all about supporting you as best as we can with our experiences, with our insights and wisdom, with our personal experience. And I hope that whatever you hear today is somehow, if there's just one little nugget that you take away, it's going to be right on time for you whenever you listen to this. And so my guest today is Venera Gumarova, and I'm going to let her say her actual name. She's from Russia originally, and so
Kyrgyzstan.
Kyrgyzstan, yes. And the way she says her last name is so beautiful.
Maybe,
so,
thank you.
so anyways, Venera, thank you for coming on.
Thank you, Andrea, for thank you for
tell us how you say your last name. I want people.
Gumerova.
Yeah.
Venera Gumerova. But English way, American way would be Gumerova, because all the Kurnikova, all the last names. Yeah, they stress the ending. So, so you're fine. You're fine.
Oh, that's good. So we thought we had the good fortune of getting together again. I was out visiting family, and she happened to be in the same town. And so we just literally got together for, I don't know, maybe an hour and a half, had coffee. And she's like, we need to do a podcast. And well, we've been on hiatus because this has been the year of complete chaos and destruction for me.
Right.
And like destruction in the best ways, but yeah, dealing with the just enormous amount of changes that so many of us are going through on a spiritual level, cosmic level, life, everyday living level. It's a lot for everybody.
Right.
And so you were at that day, you were really concerned about just the deep instability people were feeling. Like do I stay, do I go, that kind of thing.
Right. That's true. So you and I and many other energy healers and coaches and meditation mindfulness coaches, we're all concerned because we see every day many people that are a little confused. They don't know what to do. They don't understand. They think that it's only them who are experiencing this this heaviness and relieving of trauma, and it can seem a lot to take. And sometimes they tell me, I don't want to live here. I just want to, I just want to rest. This is too much to take. And the problem is they just don't know how to deal with it. Instead of fighting, the best way would be accept it, right? Accept it and navigate through it. Accept it with love. So I suggested we do this podcast so people will get at least a little bit of our conversation. Yeah, whatever we can share in our own experience, with our own experience and traumas. It's funny, we have been in this transformation cycle for many years, right? And it's still lots of karma is coming up, lots of unprocessed emotions, not even from this life, but from all other realities are coming up. That's how I feel, lots of it. And whatever energies on earth Schumann resonance or any, that create sound flares, that create those, traumas come up. It is really, really beneficial. It is traumatic in some way, but it's beneficial. I think it's beneficial for us to get over this finally. The new earth that we are seeing is pushing us to evolve and to leave the heavy karma and heavy emotions behind, right? What do you think, Andrea? How do you feel it? Like what I was actually going to share, you and I were talking about this transformation that we've been in, and we thought we're completely, we're close to being, how would you say that? Close to being free of, of emotions, of like heavy things. But here we are in this like window of super fast transformation. We arrived in the like final stage. I feel like it's a final stage of transfer, maybe not final, but one of the last stages of transformation where we can leave everything behind and step into the new earth. What the how they say it's 5D earth, right? 5-dimensional earth. So what do you feel like? What did you go through within the last couple of months, especially September and October? Let's share so people know that we all
Oh,
the same. We're all in one.
yeah. No matter where you've been on the journey,
Right.
I've been at this a very long time, in many different capacities. And whoo, I mean, I didn't know there was much left. The stuff that's come up for me has been almost, there's not even necessarily story attached to it. It was just old energetic dust. Like I pretty much shut down everything I was doing in kind of August, September. Like, I mean, nothing was moving. Nothing, everything was stuck. Everything I was trying to do, right? There again.
Right.
As soon as I stopped trying, as soon as I let everything clear away and completely like allow myself to be a vessel for the spirit, for the higher frequencies, the higher consciousness, and stop mucking it up with the old rules and the old game. It's like, and then I went into a deep retreat in October, and I mean, I got rid of, I was deleting, I've been deleting all year, like email subscriptions, like everything, deleting, getting rid of people who didn't have anything to do with me anymore. And there was no bitterness or resentment or anything. It was just like everything was so chaotic, and just this flurry of distraction, right? People scroll through endless distraction, completely numbing. That was the last numbing agent I really had, was like going through email. And so in October, I shut everything down. I disconnected for the most part from social media, from my circles of people. I let them know, hey, I'm going into hibernation for a while. I'm going into the cave, and I don't know for sure when I'll be back. It took about 3 weeks for me to poke my head out to one primary group that has been a real source of support for me this year. But beyond that, it took until basically till you and I, like the week that Thanksgiving week, right?
Right.
Then I started being willing and actually so clear, so light. But then, so I get home from my trip, and last Thursday, there was this surge of energy in the middle of the night. My dog started pacing the floor, like like she never does that. She's an old lady. She just sleeps all, you know. She was pacing back and forth. I was awake and I woke up a few hours later, like got out of bed. And I mean, I started getting the sniffles, and my body, I could feel it was actually just starting to purge. And so I've been down for the count, like completely knocked out, like 18 hours, 20 hours a day for about 2.5, 3 days. And yesterday I got up for a little bit, uh, like in the afternoon. I was up for a while and actually went out, but yeah, and here we are. It's what day is today? Monday? But
Monday before.
and it's like my system actually feels like my nervous system feels like there's been a reset. I feel things happening within my physical body, as well as like my abilities are far more amplified gently. It's not like a lot to integrate that part. My body's going through enough integration, but it is an uh, heightened state of some of my abilities. And so, uh, yeah, so that's me. Tell me about you.
Thank you for sharing. That's beautiful. Yeah, so the other day I was tuning into the energies, and I got the download that it's not only Earth, us, it's also cosmic war and some kind of spiritual battle going on different levels, and the Earth. So, and it says it feels like it's real, um and the I don't know how to say it, maybe uh uh light energies and not so light energies are clashing, and we are in the middle of it. We're in the middle of so many processes in the universe, and they're asking us, all those light beings, they're asking us to be praying and meditating and wishing the best for the earth, being the spiritual warrior that we are for our own selves and for others, to show them the way, not necessarily to fight, but be the light for others so they can follow your example. And especially praying, people underestimate prayers and meditations because it's almost the same, right? And with our vibrations, with our resonance, we absolutely can influence the world. We can influence the earth and whatever happening on the cosmic level, because we are cosmic. Our origin is from another reality. And I absolutely feel this kind of war or some dissonance, something's happening. And also in my own life, you're right, in September it heightened in September, when I think it's Libra energies or something like that, when I also started to just distinguish between friends and not friends, like what you were saying, subscriptions that I need and subscriptions that I don't need, and just many things that don't serve my path, colleagues, and because it's all of the extra stuff are weighing us down. It's definitely a big, like, heavy weight. So we are already, because of this many incarnations and realities and traumas and karma, we're already heavy when we come to this incarnation. We are trying to purge, to get rid of it, plus all the people that don't align with us. So we kind of have to navigate and get rid of that. Unfortunately and fortunately, because we're all now going to separate into 2 or 3 worlds with different matrix vibrations. So we have to make a decision right now, because we have already entered galactic new year. So the stages that are basically final stages of deciding, are you staying or are you going into the new earth? Because later on, now the window was open, and I think it's still open to enter into the new earth, but later on it will be more difficult to step in. It will take more effort and realizations, and you would need somebody like coaches, healers, and other medicine people to grab you by hand and pull you out. But right now you still have chance, we still have chance to do this without anybody's help and with just the faith that we have. And also I went through a traumatic experience in September, and I've never cried so much in my whole life. Never, ever. And in the last 2 days, actually, I'm I was still crying. I'm like, wait. And I feel like that little Venera, little girl in me woke up. Like, I was never exposed. I never thought about my little girl, but here she is, you know, feeling like she's alone or something like that. I'm like, why am I crying? But I got a download. Like, I started, you're right, the our abilities heightened. So I get a download right away. You wouldn't imagine, like before it would be like, what is it? What is it? Why am I feeling? Now it's like really fast. And they say, or the information that I'm getting is you are stepping into a crystalline version of you.
Yeah.
That crystalline version of you cannot hold any kind of trauma or feeling of loneliness, feeling of incomplete, or anything like that. We are stepping into the reality where we feel one with everybody, with the universe, with God, with whatever you believe in. So they are, and the energies and the forces and your own spirit guides, your own higher self, they're all kind of initiating this processing of everything that hasn't been processed so far. So I've been crying,
and
and
it's like conscious and unconscious, and so it's like all the layers,
right.
you see layers of like rock, those walls, many colors and like textures, different. There's just this strata of of stuff. Some you don't even know. You said you had a trauma that has brought you to a lot of tears, right? I
Right.
just cry. I don't have any story. I just walk around. I'll be laughing and then I'll be crying. And then I'll be singing and looking like a crazy person out in my yard. Just making weird noises. And this is the only thing that has allowed me to even be, it's like part of my grounding or connecting process. Yes. So I think that I hope people know, there there was this line in a movie, like let your freak flag fly, let it out.
Yep.
Nobody's judging you. The only one that matters is, are you judging yourself? And will you let yourself just let it all go? You mentioned a word earlier, um, spiritual warrior, and that word is interesting. There's a lot of there's a lot of disagreement about that term, and
I understand. Yeah.
you know and so I think it's really important for people to understand this is not about war. This is about bravery, being willing to stand with yourself, see yourself fully, acknowledge that you are perfect just as you are. And like
Correct.
all the other
You're
stuff is overlay, it's overlays. That is when we decided we needed separation for the experience, whatever that is. I don't claim to fully understand it. I know what I see, and I am so grateful for everybody that brings their piece of the disco ball. you know,
basically
you know,
that's right.
um,
That. So
but those overlays and wanting to feel what separation from source, from self really feels like, well, we know.
we
And I
know.
think many of us are truly and utterly ready to be beyond that and to come
Right.
home, to be home, to remember we actually are already home,
That is a big part because for a lot of people, I don't know if you heard the term star seeds. I know we all come from stars, from another reality, but some of us, they long for that home so badly that they don't want to be on earth. So for me, that theme came up too. And I even heard I even heard my cosmic galactic family, if you believe in it, they said, "You got it. You're from advanced civilization. Come on. Like, you volunteer to be here. You got it.
yeah,
We're with you." And I, like, okay, 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 I can be here because I honestly do a lot of like earth help right now by via coaching and sessions, like most of us healers. So yeah, I can see others transform and shift and accept, and it is truly, truly helpful work that we're doing, and each of us is very, very valuable in this whole process. This is a process where we all come home. You're right, beautifully said, where we all connect with our higher selves, with our soul first, then higher self, and then our spirit, God, universe. So this is the big process, and we gotta accept this, that this is the path. And without turbulence, we won't be strong. We won't have strong spirit. We need some turbulence to basically get there. We need to go to the gym and do the work, some work at least, and this is parallel to it. We gotta realize what's happening. We gotta realize our shortcomings and be better for ourselves and others. And that's basically our true purpose in life, to evolve through the hardships. It's funny, astrologers probably know that planets are affecting us like never before. And
okay.
astrologers and numerologists and other specialists always tell me, "Oh my goodness, you have really, really like retrograde um, planets, so many, and then transits that are not very favorable." I'm like, "Why would you say that?" I was like, "That's not a good information for me." Just say I'm lucky. I have a good Jupiter and stuff like that, planet of abundance. They would say, "No, it's a retrograde. I don't know how you're living with it." I'm like, "Wait a minute, you can stop here."
Oh my
And,
goodness.
it took me years, maybe several years, to realize it is what it is. I came here with this plan to go through all this turbulence with all the planets that are creating this hardship for me, so I could rise above all this, you know, and strengthen my spirit.
Yeah.
Only when you strengthen your spirit, you become free. Free. And no matter what happens, you know you are enough and you're okay and you will be cared for. Like right now, remember yesterday when we were setting up the time for today, I told you, first time in my life, the police road officer, what do you call them? Yeah, the police officer stopped
Officer,
me for
sheriff,
not,
I don't know.
huh?
Sheriff, maybe?
Yes, sheriff. It was she stopped me at for not stopping at the stop sign for several seconds. I probably stopped for 2 seconds and she wanted me to stop for longer. So she stopped me and it was my first time. And I'm like, what is happening? Why am I stopped? She's like, well, it stops. And I'm like, oh my goodness. My anger, not anger, like frustration, it all came up. And I started judging her. Like, be a human. Can you please give me like a first time notice or warning and just let me go? She's like, I am human. I'm like, she did not get that part for sure. I meant to say, but I started judging her, and I'm like, after the experience, I'm like, what was it? Because it never happened to me before. In every situation, I see the higher purpose, higher reason. And I
Yeah.
tuned into it, and I got the download that that's your exam. Everybody on the planet is going through their own exams. So whoever, whatever is initiating it, but it's there for you. And it's an exam whether I'm ready to not judge people. And first of all, myself, and enter into the fifth dimension, right? Enter into the dimension where we don't judge, we accept people, ourselves, and other situations in life as for some other higher reason for our growth, right? So it was an exam and I didn't pass it, but I passed it after I realized I let it go. I wished her well. I said, that's her job. She also has to, eat and all that. And I'm like, okay. And then there was another exam before that, also the same one. The lady in the gym came up to me. She's like, you can't record any videos into your phone. And I felt again frustrated. Why would you come to me? I'm like, Vinita, are you a spiritual teacher? It's no matter, like, we're going to see many exams, many things coming up in our lives where we will be tested. We will
Yeah.
be tested. And our goal, our task is to let go and do not judge ourselves and let go and see the purpose, why it's coming up for you. Always tune into your inside, into yourself, into your higher self. Ask and receive, yeah, with love. So,
Yeah. With love.
but then
That's,
these people, but of course I let go of, any resentment or anger. I'm like, oh my goodness, that was not good. And I always send love and the best emotions and vibrations to those people. But I know now, next time when this happens, I know how to react. See,
yeah.
we need
Yeah.
to experience it, not only know it, but experience it. Through
Yeah.
experience, we
And
let go of karma.
it's an experience of, it's like there's practice and then there's the embodiment where it just comes from, and both are beautiful, right?
Right.
Like, if you don't know how to meet it with that grace, just practice. Give yourself, I'm just call it practice. And at some point, it's going to become so much more natural for you. But,
Yeah.
well, we
Thank you,
have
Andrea.
to sign off for today, but
Mhm.
I want to really thank you for coming on and sharing from your heart. And
Thank you, Andrea.
to all of you listening and watching, keep shining your light and keep following your most innocent curiosity to the path that takes you back to yourself, to your
Right.
wholeness, and know you are not alone. So,
Yes, never alone, actually, never. You're never
yep.
alone, and you're always loved. Remember that, and give yourself a lot of love during this time. First, yeah, love yourselves. Ask for help. Don't forget to ask for help. That was a big theme for me as well. So, love yourselves, accept, don't accept things, don't fight things, just accept that everything is happening for a reason. There is a higher reason, and just trust that process.
Thank
Thank you.
you.